Welcome to 4.12, The Dark Empath. Now, as a reminder, this profile is motivated by the desire to achieve emotional connection with the intent to get their needs met or validated, but do not give it in return. In childhood, this type typically experienced inconsistent caregiving or emotional enmeshment where feelings were used as leverage within the family. Safety came through reading and managing others. Unlike other profiles where trauma creates a disconnection from emotion, in emotionally unpredicted environments, they developed heightened sensitivity to nonverbal cues because understanding what others felt was the only way to stay safe. What distinguishes this type from a traditional empath is that they can understand what you're feeling without actually having to feel it themselves. This emotional distance allows them to manipulate without guilt. They may mirror your emotions, offer timely comfort, or affirm you, but not out of genuine care, but to gain influence and access your vulnerabilities. Now, a strong case study for this profile is Teal Swan. From early childhood, she has described herself as hypersensitivity and extrasensory. Her parents also describe a child who reacted intensely to sound, mood, and emotional atmospheres. That presentation aligns cleanly with a reflector child whose nervous system samples and amplifies the emotional and psychological field around them rather than generating a fixed internal state. As a reflector, Swan has no defined centers, leaving her fully open to environmental conditioning. In distortion, it produces a chameleon effect where the individual mirrors back exactly what others unconsciously want or fear, creating immediate emotional resonance and trust without grounded accountability. Swan has publicly claimed prolonged and extreme ritual abuse in childhood. Now, this trauma, whether real or exaggerated, became an identity of legitimacy and leverage as something that she rose above. As a 4/6 profile, Swan requires community as an anchor. In the not-self, that need mutates into tribe preservation at all costs. Her incarnation cross of Eden creates an enclosed, safe world separate from ordinary reality, and this is reflected in her retreats in the formation of the Teal tribe. Her motivation of fear is used to bond followers through shared vulnerability and perceived external danger. Her completion process has been known to create emotional dependency by inducing intense regression and false memory implantation through repeated trauma narration. With a fully open will center, she would need reinforcement through loyalty, admiration, and dependency in the not-self. Astrologically, this is a sign of Cancer. Her Cancer rising amplifies this pattern. In its shadow, it creates dependency, smothering rather than supporting, and using emotional attunement as a tool of control rather than connection. Now, for those on the lower end of the spectrum, therapeutic approach depends heavily on the childhood origin. Eldarin therapy can be effective because it addresses the core drive for significance and belonging. Trauma-based CBT can address trauma beliefs formed in childhood, and forensic therapy may be necessary to address accountability and the impact of actions on their victims. So make sure to follow as I wrap up these profiles with the provocateur coming up next.